Hey guys, welcome to this little live training today. Hopefully you've got good enough sound. I'm outside, obviously, so there might be a little bit of wind. Just tell me if you're having any issues with the sound, and I'll try and get it sorted. I just need to do a little bit of admin before we start. I've got to get Instagram connected. It's a little bit funny. So as soon as I've done that and we've got a few people online, then we'll kind of crack on. I've got some good training for you today. Paul and I have been working on a little sort of process to help people build some momentum towards their goals, whether it's fitness, whether it's weight loss or whatever. And it's perfect if you're kind of fed up of feeling like a bit of a failure, like, you know, you try really hard and no matter how hard you try, you never really get any traction. So if that sounds like you, then you're in exactly the right place, because that's what we're going to be talking about today. I've also got a free worksheet, which I'm going to tell you how you can download that and start using that in a bit. So just give me a couple of minutes, say hello, wherever. Tell me where you're kind of watching from. I'm broadcasting this across 2 Facebook groups, the Virtual Bootcamp group, the Conquer Food and Fitness group, but also the Team Bootcamp YouTube, and I'm just about to go live on Instagram as well. So just tell me wherever you're watching this from, and tell me what you're up to today. It's been a lovely day again. We've been lucky with the weather. How is this weather affecting stuff? Is it affecting your sugar cravings? Is it are you doing more training, more fitness? You know, are you tending to be a little bit lazier than you normally would? Kind of what's happening? Tell me what it's doing. Okay, so I've got the ability to share your comments and questions on the screen. So hello, Claire. How you doing? Hopefully you're good. You had a bit of an insight into the worksheet and the little technique that I'm going to talk about today. So I know you was talking about it yesterday. Was it, Paula? You was talking about it. So Paula, do you want to say hi?
Hello, Claire.
No, you need to come across and say hi. She's going to come across and say hi. So yeah, say hello. Tell me that whether you can hear okay, and all that kind of stuff. And hopefully you should be up and running. I'm just going to check. Yeah. Okay. So we're live on Instagram now. Claire says hi, Pete.
Hey.
She's saying the sound's good. Brilliant. Okay, so I'm just going to give it a couple of minutes. I've just sent an email out as well, sort of saying that we're going live. So we might get a few people coming online wanting to watch this. So, like I say, we'll just give it a couple of minutes. If you're not watching this in the Virtual Bootcamp group, I'm going to post a link to it in a minute, because this is where you're going to be able to download the worksheet. Basically, I'm not going to sit all night and, you know, sending people the worksheet afterwards. So I've set something up where if you comment, and I'll tell you what you need to comment in a minute on this post, then you'll get the worksheet sent through to you, and you can either have it through Facebook Messenger or email. Okay, so that's kind of the way we're going to play it. So if you're not watching it on the Virtual Bootcamp group and you want the worksheet, then you need to get yourself in the Virtual Bootcamp group. Find this live. I'll mark it as an announcement at the top of the group, and then you'll be able to post in the comments and then get the worksheet. Okay, so there's a couple of people on there now. Please, as you're coming on, just say hello, so I know who it is and who's watching, and let me know how you're getting on with this weather. Is it if you're kind of new to this, then if you're in the Facebook group, quite often it doesn't tell me who it is, so just say hello and then post your name. Kathy saying hi Kathy, how you doing? Hopefully you're enjoying the weather. I've got a Facebook user saying hey Craig. I'm not sure who that is, so let me know so I can say hi back and know who I'm talking to. And and we'll get into it. Okay, so let me sort of put some context around what we're going to talk about now, and I just want you to interact as much as you can, okay, by typing in the comments on whatever platform you're on. So who has set some weight loss or fitness goals and then found that they don't nail it? You don't nail it first time, okay? It's you kind of struggle and you feel that the momentum, if you imagine a big ferry heading across the channel, okay, to be able to turn that ferry around quickly. Paula's just kicking out a load of music on Instagram, so don't ignore that. To turn that ferry round, you can't just whack the handbrake on and spin it round. You know, it takes a bit of time to slow that ferry down, start turning and turning and turning, and then get it going in the other direction, and then start getting the power on to go in the opposite direction. Okay, now this is quite often what it's like for people when they're looking to lose weight, get fit. Momentum is usually going in the wrong direction. We're usually heading towards putting weight on. We're usually heading towards a sedentary lifestyle and all the problems that we've got associated with that. So to be able to just go handbrake on, spin the steering wheel, floor it like you're in some kind of old school cops and robbers car chase, it can be quite hard to do. In fact, there's two ways that you can change your habits and sort of start to change the momentum. One is by having a significant emotional event. So this is why people that, suddenly they get told, if you don't stop smoking, we're going to chop your legs off. This is why they make massive changes really, really quick, because it's got enough emotion about it that it forces them to change. Or somebody says, a loved one gets the big C, the dreaded C, get cancer, and then they're like, right, I need to sort my crap out. I need to get this because I don't want that happening to me. I don't want to put my loved ones through all this kind of stuff. And that's emotionally charged enough to force people to change. Okay, now you can't really create that in your life for good reason. You don't want that kind of stress and all that in your life. So the only other way to do it is by having loads of repetition, smaller things. Okay, now what we tend to do, and tell me if this is kind of what you do, or in fact let's put it out there and get a bit of a poll, a few answers back from you before I kind of talk any further about it. But if we think, okay, we've got data points, all right, so one data point might be I weigh myself, or you might keep a food diary or a training diary, or you might take measurements. What I want to know is how long do you leave it before one data point and the next? So at Team Bootcamp, obviously, we weigh you and measure you every week. So the data points are a week apart. Okay, so you tell me kind of how do you do it? I keep a food and fitness diary, and I do that every night. So the data point is 1 day. My point in which I get my first data point, and then the second one to know how I'm doing is a day apart. If I'm weighing, and I usually weigh myself every Monday morning, first thing in the morning, naked, having had a wee, first thing before I do anything else. So my data point in regards to weights and measurements is 1 week. Okay, so just tell me kind of what yours is. And as we do that, I'm just going to bring a couple of comments into Claire saying too hot, doing early morning walks. I've seen the pictures, Claire. It looks amazing. Is that up in Cumbria? Are you up in Cumbria now? It does look incredible. You find some nice walks, having siestas during the hot hours and chilling. Yeah, I got into a little bit of a phase of having little granddad naps, and thankfully I got out of that because it was starting to become a bit of a slippery slope. But yeah, I get it. It is hot. We've got this parasol, which is an absolute godsend at the minute. So so I know there's a bit of a delay on the question on the post that you put. So I'm gonna carry on and then kind of see what comes through as we go through. So the problem with those data points being so far apart is that we don't get like quick, almost instant feedback. So yeah, Northumberland, Claire's saying she's up in Northumberland, cool. So we don't get quick and instant feedback, which means that it can be hard to adjust, but also it can be hard to kind of pick out some smaller wins that you might have, and also it can be hard to sort of build up a history of success, you know, to change this ferry from going the other direction, because, you know, we might run a week, and if we get it wrong in that week, well, then that's now 2 weeks. And let's say that, you know, everything's going to pot at the weekends. Now that's now 3 weeks, maybe 4 weeks. And that's why so often we feel like momentum is going the other direction, and that we're a failure. Kathy's saying that she's getting some kind of interruption problems, and the broadcast has been paused. So hopefully you won't have missed too much. But let me know if anyone else is having problems as well. I think this is being recorded, so hopefully, at the very least, I can share this video later on. So what Paul and I came up with is this plan that, you know, if the data points are so far behind, and the other thing as well is that quite often when we're cleaning out our eating, it can feel like it's terminal, like you've got to give up all the stuff you love forever, you know. And I remember having conversations with people and them saying, look, you know, you need to moderate your chocolate. If you can't moderate it, then you need to consider cutting it out completely. And they'd be like, my God, how do you expect me to live without chocolate? You know, because it felt like that was it. Like no more chocolate for the rest of their life. And it can feel terminal, and you know, we hate that. Our minds hate that. So obviously a few problems around that. Claire Boys, I was recording on my food daily and weighing weekly, giving up only the day's point is realistically be my start and finish weight and measures at camp. So way too long. Yeah. So this is kind of the problem, Claire. So how, if you're not recognizing little wins along the way, how are you going to build up the momentum towards being better, to know that you're kind of winning? Because, you know, and how, if you feel like you're failing all the time, how are you going to change that? Like you have got like a ferry full steam ahead. If you're only doing, you know, I'm going to weigh myself now, and then in 6 months' time, I'm going to weigh myself again and see where I am. Like you just have no idea kind of where you are. And it's like that classic, you know, if we cover our eyes now, if we blindfold ourselves and just start walking, you're unlikely to end up on a beautiful sandy beach in the middle of the Caribbean. You're also unlikely to end up on the top of Everest, you know, because you're just walking aimlessly. Similar kind of thing. So we came up with this time. I'm going to share my screen now so that you can kind of see the worksheet that I'm talking about. Here it is. It's hopefully you can kind of see that. In doing this, I've lost. Oh my God, what's happened here? I've lost my ability to see the comments and stuff. Where is it? Come on. No, it's not happening. Let me just bring up another. There we go. So that should be enough for you kind of to see what I'm talking about. So what we come up with is this little worksheet. Now it looks really complex. It is not. Basically, what we're kind of suggesting is that instead of leaving it a whole day, instead of leaving it a whole week, maybe even 6 months before you monitor your progress, what we want to try and do is create progress every hour, to be able to choose an hour and know that you've won that hour. So what we've got is we've got this worksheet here, and basically each row is a day. So this is one day, and we've basically taken it from 6 o'clock in the morning up to 11 o'clock at night, and then there's a nighttime period. And then basically, this really is simple. The idea is that every time you win an hour, every time you go without your sugary foods, your fatty foods, whatever your goals are, you mark it off. You put a tick in this box for that hour, okay? And then if you do it again for the next hour, you put a tick in, you put a tick in, you put a tick in. And eventually what you're going to have is a chain of ticks. And then the aim is not to break the chain, to keep it going. Now, the number one motivating factor for anybody, research has shown, is progress. When you can see progress, it's the most motivating thing you can have. So the idea behind this is that you start to get this history of success that I've been talking about. What's going on here? I missed a chunk of the broadcast, so we'll watch the missed part later. I need to set a planner to monitor progress. Yeah, cool, Kath. And, you know, like I said, I've got this little worksheet, which I'm going to make available for you in a bit. So this is it. Now, there's also another little powerful thing with this workshop, in that the dogs are choking now, in that we all know that every now and again, our willpower is really tested. Like every now and again, you're just like, oh, I could just do with whatever it is, whatever your cheat is, you know, let's stick with the chocolate example, you know, just do with a little bit of chocolate. Or in today's weather, I'd love an ice cream. All right. Now, like I said, when we think it's terminal, that we'll never have ice cream again in our lives, we hate that as human beings. But all we really need to do is just get through the next hour, because cravings, they don't build and build and build and build and build until your head pops. Cravings are like waves lapping up against a beach, and they come and they get strong and they get strong and they get strong, and then they recede, and it just takes a bit of time. So if you can think, right, just for 1 hour, I'm just going to go with that for 1 hour. I'm just going to, you know, I'm going to use my willpower for 1 hour. That is much easier to deal with than thinking that you will never ever have ice cream again, and that, you know, this is it and your life's going to end and all this kind of stuff. So this is it. So if anybody's got any questions on this, if you want the worksheet, then all you need to do, if you're in the virtual bootcamp Facebook group, then you can just type in #worksheet, and in time, when I finish this broadcast and set it up, you'll get the worksheet sent to you. You can print it out. Now, I know there's not a lot of space in this worksheet, and when I was talking to Paula and we was putting this worksheet together, we did sort of consider the idea of being able to write little points in there and your emotions and all this kind of stuff, but that is more for your daily diary type thing. That's more for your entry. This is about seeing crosses throughout your day and knowing when you get to the end of the day or the end of the night that you have won that day, and that momentum is well and truly in the right direction towards your goals and all that kind of stuff. So that's that. So what points have you got? So we'll have a look at that. Kathy, Paula, have you got anything that you want to say about this little worksheet?
Well,
you just come across and join us. Actually, I don't know if I was I sharing that worksheet. I don't know if I was or not. Let me bring it up. There it is. So this is the worksheet I was talking about, just in case I wasn't sharing it before. Don't think I was. I'm new to this software. So here it is, basically blocks of time, 1 hour, and this is why we say it's just for 1 hour. You know, and you don't have to give up chocolate forever or ice cream forever. It's just for an hour. That's all it is, because when that hour passes, chances are you're not going to want it. And if you do want it, then just go for another hour and another hour. And each day is made up a series of hours. And then this block on the right-hand side where the little moon is, this obviously signifies the nighttime. And obviously, hopefully, you're getting a good bit of sleep. And hopefully, when you're asleep, you're not doing any sleep eating, sleep craving, and all that kind of stuff, okay? But we know there are some people that'll wake up and they'll be craving stuff in the middle of the night. And that's what this bit is about. So let me know what you think to that. I'm going to bring Paula up so she can kind of talk about it as well.
Wait.
Whilst here she is. Okay.
Hello. Who's here? Anyone
We've got Kathy. We've got Claire.
Claire.
I don't know who else is here. A couple of
Kathy,
other Facebook
Claire.
users. I don't know who the names are.
This has really helped me, actually. Craig came up with the idea a few days ago, and I've actually got through. So women, any women listening to me now will get this. I've actually got through the first few days before my period without actually having anything, just by taking it an hour at a time rather than days at a time, because normally it's whatever, I've done something really bad and I'll start again tomorrow. But now I just think, you know what, it's an hour, I can get through an hour, that's fine, and then I forget about it again. So it's really working well for me, actually. I'm quite chuffed. Quite pleased with myself.
So Claire's saying looks good. So Claire, obviously, I think Paul is going to forward it to you guys in the Conquer Food coaching program anyway, so you'll be able to talk through this in your next group session.
Yeah. Well, we're all going to do it this week.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Any other? Thanks, Paula, for that. She's ducking out. Any other questions? I'm going to hang around for another sort of 5 minutes or so, and then I'm going to jump off. Hopefully, you've enjoyed this training. If you like this training, let me know. We can do more of it. I'll aim to. Oh, the other thing as well is that a good friend of mine, Andy Millichamp, some of you might have trained with him at boot camp before. He sent me a message saying that there's a real opportunity coming for everybody. It's coming tomorrow morning, because tomorrow morning, it doesn't happen often, but it's the start of a new week and the start of a new month on the same day. So it's Monday, the 1st of June, tomorrow. Now, if there is ever a sign that we should have an amazing June and work extremely hard towards our goals, it's this. So what I want to be doing is like really lining up what we're going to kick into for tomorrow and for the whole of June. Okay, so really think about it and frame this in your mind as an amazing opportunity to really go at it. New week, because we all know diets and training programs, they can only start on a Monday, can't they? Jokes. And a new month. So this is a great opportunity to get into it. Okay, so I'm not getting any questions or comments through. Hopefully there's not been too much of a technical problems, and hopefully you found that a benefit. So remember to get the worksheet. Just type in #worksheet into the comments in this video live on the virtual Team Bootcamp group, and then you'll get that worksheet. If you're watching on other platforms, then you can leave a message and I'll check back in 24 hours. It might just take a bit of time for me to check in and do that. I can't sit on this all night and watch things. Claire said everything helps, so yeah, all training is welcome. Brilliant. Hopefully I'll give you a bit of notice every morning that I'm going to go live, usually around 4 o'clock. I tried a little bit later the other week. There was no real difference. So yeah, hope you're all good. I'm going to jump off now. So until the next office hours and live training, take care, enjoy the weather, and new month, new week, new you. See you later.